She lost interest the moment you made her your world. I see you, brother. I see how you showed up, fully, selflessly, endlessly. You poured yourself into her like water into a cup without a bottom, never questioning why it never filled, never questioning why the more you gave, the emptier you felt. But let me share something that might wake you up. Something deeply honest, even brutally poetic. The moment you made her your entire world, you stopped existing in hers. You gave her priority. She gave you indifference. You gave her your time, your patience, your peace. She gave you uncertainty. And it wasn't because she was incapable of love. No, it's because she didn't know what to do with a love that felt limitless. Understand this, my friend. Women crave a man with purpose. A man whose life has meaning beyond her presence. When you give a woman everything, including the center of your world, you leave no room for mystery, no space for desire, no reason for her to chase. You offered her certainty, and she mistook it for predictability. You gave her devotion, and she mistook it for dependency. And slowly, subtly, silently, her interest waned. Not because you weren't enough, but because you became too available, too transparent, too predictable. I know that hurts. It sounds irrational, it sounds unfair. But the truth is, love isn't logical. Attraction isn't built on comfort, it's built on tension. It's built on the thrill of the unknown, the chase of something slightly out of reach. Think about it. When you first met, she admired your ambition, your fire, your independence. She saw a man whose life was full, someone who had passions, purpose, and plans beyond her presence. But the more you loved her, the more you abandoned those parts of yourself. You believed that your devotion would bind her closer, but it only made her drift further away. You see, when you make a woman your everything, she subconsciously senses that you've given up the very things that made you attractive in the first place. She senses you've surrendered your masculine frame, your emotional independence, your mystery, and in doing so, you lost her interest. It's poetic in a painful way. You tried to hold her tighter, and in doing so, you lost your grip completely. Brother, I say this with love. No woman wants to be your entire world. She wants to be part of a life that's vibrant and thriving, never the sole reason for its existence. She wants to stand beside a man who can look into the horizon and see dreams bigger than just a relationship. So understand this clearly. Your value as a man isn't measured by how deeply you lose yourself in love. Your value is defined by how strongly you stay connected to who you are, how fiercely you protect your purpose, your drive, your dignity, even in love. You might think, if I pull back, she'll leave. But here's the raw poetic truth. If she leaves because you reclaimed your strength, your independence, your self-respect, then she was never yours to begin with. The woman meant for you, the one who truly respects you, craves your strength more than your softness. She respects your boundaries more than your availability. She loves the parts of you that she can't easily access, can't easily predict, can't easily control. Hear me clearly. You can love deeply without losing yourself completely. You can care without giving up your center. You can hold someone close without forgetting the dreams, passions, and purpose that defined you before her arrival. I know it's tempting to sacrifice everything in the name of love. We've all been there. But love is never about sacrificing yourself. It's about expanding together. If you shrink yourself to fit into someone else's world, eventually you'll disappear. And when you disappear, so does her attraction. This might sting, but it needs to be said. She didn't lose interest because you loved her too much. She lost interest because you stopped loving yourself enough. You stopped investing in yourself, stopped growing, stopped challenging yourself. You lost sight of who you were. And in doing so, she lost sight of why she was drawn to you in the first place. Brother, this isn't punishment. It's wisdom. This isn't about turning cold or bitter. It's about returning to yourself. It's about reclaiming the man you were before you handed your heart over without boundaries. Because the moment you start prioritizing yourself again, the moment you reconnect with your passions, your ambitions, your strength, the world notices. She notices. Suddenly, the tables turn. You're no longer predictable. You're no longer available at her every whim. You become something she can't fully grasp, something intriguing, something powerful. She starts wondering why she ever lost interest. She starts feeling the void left by your absence. Your silence becomes louder than your words ever were. This isn't manipulation, it's self-respect. It's the truth that every man must realize sooner or later. You're not here to prove your worth to someone who can't see it. You're not here to be someone's emotional crutch or safety net. You're here to build a life so meaningful, so powerful, so purposeful, that love becomes an addition, not a foundation. The man who makes a woman his entire world loses himself and eventually loses her. But the man who makes himself his world, who stands proudly in his purpose, who remains a bit of a mystery, he's the one she can't forget. Let this be your wake-up call. Love deeply, but love yourself deeper. Give fully, but never abandon your core. Make her feel valued, but never let her become your only measure of value. Because the moment you reclaim your power, your identity, your independence, the game changes entirely. You're no longer playing to keep someone's attention. You're building a life that naturally attracts the right person. Remember this, brother. She didn't leave because you were too much. She left because you became too little of yourself, too little of the man she once admired. So, rebuild yourself. Reconnect with your passions, reignite your dreams. Make your world so rich, so deep, so meaningful that love finds you naturally. Never again chase love at the expense of losing yourself, because when you stop chasing, love comes looking for you. She may have lost interest when you made her your world, but watch what happens when you finally make yourself your own priority. That's when your true life begins. That's when love becomes real. And that's when you'll never again fear losing someone else, because you'll know the one thing you can never lose again: yourself.